Hello, everyone. This is Melissa, your host of the day. Today's session, we're going to talk about how to connect with your professor. So, let's get started. Review. Where can we find a professor's contact info? Think about it. What did we talk about? You got your answer? Okay. The syllabus, remember, usually at the top. You can also find that CCD Connect. Log in and go to your schedule, and if you click on the professor's name, there should be a hyperlink to their email address. That's a good way to connect with your professor. Or if you go to the CCD department page and find staff contacts and you look up your professor's name, you should find all their information that you need there as well. So, when should you reach out to your professor? Generally, being proactive is best. So that means reaching out before something happens. So if you know you're going to miss class, go ahead and tell them and send them an email so that you can get the work that you're going to miss so that you're still on top of things. Um, yeah, so like if you know that you're going to miss because you have to pick your child up from school or something, just a one time kind of thing, let them know. Usually, if you ask before something happens, it's a better approach because it can't always be excused if it's after the fact. You should reach out to your professor if you're having trouble accessing an assignment or you don't understand the assignment. Professors are really useful in their knowledge of their subjects, and most of the time they really do want to help their students succeed. So if you go to them and you email them or you call them or you're able to go to their office hours, being able to ask about something that you're having trouble with is the best option. And last, if you'd like to set up a meeting to talk to your professor about your performance in class, some professors want you to schedule a meeting during their office hours. Some professors just want you to drop by, and so you'll need to check the syllabus and make sure you know what your professor prefers. But if you want to talk to them or set up a meeting, you can absolutely do that by emailing, calling them, or if they're able to just drop in during office hours, you can do that as well. Check your CCD student email daily. Again, every single day you need to check your CCD student email. This is how official information from your professors, advisors, financial aid office, and anyone that works for CCD is going to try and contact you. You should check your CCD email again at least once a day. Any communication you have via email can be used as documentation later if you need it. For example, if you get a failing grade, but you reached out to your professor and they said they would give you an extension, you can show them the email to get that fixed or to remind them that, hey, this is what we talked about. Let's make sure that this grade is actually updated. It's a way to kind of prove your case if something happens that you did in fact like get permission to turn something in late or something like that. It's always really good to have it in writing. That way, if we need to do like a grade appeal or something like that, we have documentation. So check that email. Check. Now we're going to talk about some proper email etiquette because emails can seem really simple, but there are some certain rules that you need to follow when you're in college or even just working and being a professional. So, when you send an email, you want to put the email address in the to section. So that's right here. Whoever the email is going to will go right here. If you want to copy someone on it, like your trio advisor, or um, whoever you want to copy on it, so someone that might be important within the email, you want to put that email address in the CC section. So that's called carbon copy. It just means that the other person that is in this line is going to get a copy of the email, but it's not necessarily addressed to that person. The subject line should be a quick line indicating what you're emailing the person about. So a good example would be excuse for missing class on 7/20/2020. Do not put the entire email in the subject line. That's what the whole space under the font settings, that's where you're going to write the whole email. So don't put your whole email in the subject line because the person that receives it is not going to be able to read the entire line. And remember, We're all professionals here, so that includes our emails. The body of an email. So this is the part where you're going to actually write what you want to say to the person you're emailing. It's similar to writing someone a letter, but in school or work, it should be more formal. So don't include emojis or a lot of slang. Use a standard font like Times New Roman. Use complete sentences and use good grammar. Try to make sure you at least proofread your message once before you click the send button. Address your professor how they like to be addressed. So some professors prefer professor and then their last name. Some professors are doctors, so you should call them doctor and then their last name. Some professors are less formal and just want to be called by their first name. It really depends. Usually a professor will tell you how they like to be addressed in like the first few class meetings. If they haven't told you a preference, go ahead and just stick with professor last name. Professors don't usually go by just Mrs., Miss, or Mr. So make sure you're checking. And worst case, and you're just guessing, stick with professor last name. Body of an email continued. Be specific. That's the biggest point of this whole slide. So after you greet someone at the top of your body paragraph, so you'll say, Dear Professor so and so, state what it is that you need to tell them. So this could be that you need help with an assignment, or you're letting them know why you're going to miss one of their classes. Include the name of your class and the usual meeting times. Sometimes professors teach multiple classes or even different subjects. So you would want to put, like this example would be Bio 111, Tuesday, Thursdays from 3 to 4:15 p.m. This lets them know what class you're in, and you've already told them why you're emailing them. Then you want to include, after your name, you want to include your S number so they know who you are. It's really easy to look up students by their S number, and it helps professors from getting students confused because sometimes other students have the same first and last name as you. So here is a good example. We got our email. So you're going to do professor email at ccd.edu. That's who we are emailing in the to line. I have CC'd myself as your trio advisor. And then in the subject line, we put missing math 121 class on 7/21/2020. Then in the body part, so under that Tamaha, in the body, we draft the actual email. So I said, good afternoon, Professor Atkinson. I wanted to let you know I will have to miss your math 121 class on Tuesday, 7/21/2020, because I have a doctor's appointment during our usual 3 p.m. class. If there are any assignments I need to make up for this day, please let me know. I can also give you proof of my absence if you need it. Thanks for your understanding and help. Best. And then I put my name and my S number. So good things about this email is that it was specific. It is proactive because you're letting them know that you're going to miss the class and it's not after the fact. You're asking if they need documentation to prove that it's an excused absence. Remember, sometimes unexcused absences can take points away from your grade, and even excused absences depending on the rules of your class. You want to make sure when you're documenting that you're going to miss a class, you have a valid reason, and you're seeing what your professor needs from you to make sure that it's okay. And it's good to say like thank you and thanks for understanding and their help. It just shows that you're appreciating that they are helping you out because you are missing one of their classes. With emails, remember to shoot your best shot. So don't be like this guy shooting your shot, but it wasn't the best. Just try your best, and it'll all be okay. All right, so we're gonna have an activity. I'm gonna let real life Melissa explain what's going on here. So take it away, real me.